Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to do previous year questions for ratios. So for this we are going to use the same PDF compilation shared by Dr. Shivan on his channel, and we are going to solve the previous year questions for the topic ratios. Let's start. So this is the first question. Monthly income of Peter and Paul are in this ratio. So the salary ratio is this. This part is clear. Their expenses ratio is this, and if each says rupees 6,000 in the at the end of the month, what is their monthly income? I have already shown you how we are going to solve this question in the last video. We are going to use the property number 1, and the other thing is we have to know that the salary of a person is equal to expenses, his expenses plus his savings, right? And the second thing, we are going to use the property number 1, that was if we multiply and divide a ratio by the same quantity, the ratio is going to stay the same. Now, if let's start the question. The monthly income of Peter and Paul. So, income of Peter, I will say Peter is P1, and income of Paul, that is P2, is what? 4 by 3. Income, and then what do we have? We have expenses. So expenses of P1 divided by expenses of P2 means expenses of person 1, person 2 is 3 by 2, right? And the savings at the end of each month is 6,000 for both. As I've already told you, multiplying the numerator and denominator is not going to change anything. So let's say 4A and 3A is the income of P1 and P2, right? And expenses is, let's say, multiplying numerator and denominator by same quantity, that is B. So for the person 1 income is what? 4A, and expenses is what? 3B. For person number 2, income is 3A and expenses is 2B, and their savings is 6,000 at the end of each month, that is income minus expenses, that is 6,000, and again income minus expenses is 6,000. I hope this part is clear. 4A minus 3B is 6,000, 3A minus 2B is 6,000. So let's solve this. 4A minus 3B, or we can do one thing here, multiply this by 2, multiply this by 3. So what do we have? 8A minus 6B is equal to 12,000, and in the second equation we have 9A minus 6B is equal to 18,000. I'm just going to make it quick because I've already shown you this concept in the last video. Solving this, here we have plus, minus, minus. So we have minus of A is equal to minus 6,000. A is what? 6,000, right? Now, we know we have A as 6,000. So let's remove this part. A is 6,000. This part is clear. Now, we have A as 6,000. What was income of person 1? Income of person 1 was 4A. Income of person 2 was 3A. So 4A is 4 into 6,000, that is 24,000, and income B is 3A, that is 18,000, and that is the answer. Their income, monthly income is 24,000 and 18,000. Question number 1 is clear. This is just a repeat. If you have not watched the last video, you will not be easily able to grasp the concept. So I would highly recommend you see the last video. And also, this PDF is already shared on the Telegram channel. Download it first. Try to solve this question on your own first, and then come back and check if your solution is right or if you are stuck at some place. Now, total emolument of two persons are the same. Means this is uh, this is this is the salary in hand. So person A is getting some salary from a company, person 2 is getting the salary from the company. Both are getting the same amount of salary. So let's say this is salary 1 and salary 2 of two person. Both are getting these are the same. So person A and person B are getting same in hand salary. But one gets allowance to an extent of 65% of the basic pay. So another thing, basic pay of a person This is how the companies calculate your salary. So there is some basic pay component. Then after that, some allowance is given to you, and after that, you this is the finally you get some salary in hand. So basic pay is something. After that, they give you some allowance on it, and after that, what do you have? That is a salary in hand. So person one gets 65% of the basic pay. Suppose the person one is basic pay is B1 and allowance is 65% of B1. So 65% of his basic pay is the allowance. So this is allowance, this is basic pay, and this is the salary of person number 1. Now the other person gets a 80% of basic pay, means his basic pay is B2 but allowance is 80% of B2. That is salary of person number 2. Now if we see here, we have S1 is equal to S2, means this is equal to this one, right? So B1 plus 0.65 B1 is equal to B2 plus 0.8 B2, right? So solving this is 1.65 B1 is equal to 1.8 B2. B1 by B2 is 1.8 divided by 1.65, right? So if you solve this, how can we solve this? So if we solve this, this is 15 11s are 15 11 and 15 12s are 180. So 12 ratio 11. But however you want to solve it, this is the way. So 12 ratio 11 is the ratio of their basic pay, right? So this is question number 2. And again, this is very similar to the last question of salary, savings and expenses. Only the terms have changed, that basic pay plus allowance is his salary in hand, right? Salary in hand. I hope this is clear. Moving on to the third question. If there is a policy that 1/3 of population of a community has migrated each year from a place, what is the leftover population of the community after 6 years? Right? Now, we know that population of a place is P at the start of time equal to 0. 1/3 population migrates. What are we left with? 2/3 of the population, right? Now, in second year, what will happen? That 1/3 of the population, means this is the remaining population, is left, and what are we left with? We will be left with 2/3 of the population, that is 2 by 3 of P. This is year number 2. This is year number 1. Third year, what will happen? This will migrate 1/3 of 1/3 of 4 by 9 of P, means the current population, and what will be left with? Will be left with 2 by 3 of 4 by 9 of P, that is at the end of third year. I hope this is clear. At the end of first year, we have 2 by 3 P population left. At the end of second year, we have 2 square by 3 square population left. At the end of third year, we have 2 cube by 3 cube population left. At the end of 4 year, we have 2 4 by 3 4 population left. At the end of 5 year, we have 2 5 by 3 5 P. At the end of sixth year, we have 2 6 by 3 6 of P. This is the population that is left in the community, means that is remaining in the community. So 2 raised to the power 6 divided by 3 raised to the power 6. If you solve this, we have 4 into 4, that is 16. 16 for the 64 divided by 9 9s, 3 3 9, 9 9 81. 81 9s are 729. So 64 by 729 is the population that is left after 6 years. This is a question of geometric progression, we can say, right? Geometric progression, or this is simply the question of what is we can even if we don't know what geometric progression is, you can solve this question in this way. Just your concept should be very clear what the question is trying to say. That 1/3 of the population migrates and 2/3 of the population is left in the community, means it remains at the place, right? Moving on. This is another question. They are asking you that P works thrice as fast as Q and P and O together can work 4 times as fast as R. If they are working together on a job, in what ratio they share their earning? Now let's see. If say P and Q are 2 people and P works 3 times fast as Q. So P by Q is 3 ratio 1. how P works, even if you don't want to do this, you can simply say that P works 3 times fast as R, oh sorry, Q. P works 3 times as fast as Q. So P by Q works in this ratio, right? Now, if P is working 3 times fast as Q, so P should be some experienced person and Q should be some less experienced person. So P should be getting 3 times more earning out of that job and Q should be getting one part. I hope this is clear. Means P should be getting 3 times the salary of Q. Take like this. So first ratio is P is 3Q. Second is P plus O working together. This is not O, this should be Q because there are 3 people. So P and Q are working together and they work 4 times fast as R. So P plus Q is 4R. This is equation number 2. They are asking you their share of earning. So they are asking you what is P ratio Q ratio R. That is the speed of P ratio speed of doing work of Q. That is ratio of speed of going ratio R. In the same ratio they are going to divide their earnings. I hope this is clear. Now we have to just find P ratio Q ratio R from these two equations. I have already told you in the last question that if two equations are given to you and there are 3 variables, that in that case you can to find the ratio between these 3 variables. If you have not checked, I would highly recommend you check the last video where solve such equations. So first equation is given to you, P ratio Q is 3 and second equation is P plus Q is 4R. So if I put P as 3Q, 3Q plus Q is equal to 4R, I have 4Q is equal to 4R, Q is equal to R, right? So I have to find P ratio Q ratio R. So I have to fill 3 places. So if I put Q, since Q is same in both cases, I am putting Q as 1. What is R? Q by R is 1 ratio 1. So R is 1. What is P? When Q is 1, P is 3. So this is the ratio of 3. 3 ratio 1 ratio 1. So our answer is 3 ratio 1 ratio 1 should be the ratio in which they should be sharing their earnings. I hope this is clear. Very simple question. You just have to understand that even if 2 equations are given to you, you can find the ratio of the 3 variables. Right? Now moving on. This part. This is same as question number 1. You can go back and check the question number 1. Same question is given to you. So this show that questions can be repeated in the exam. The only difference is they are asking you what is the total monthly income. If you go back to the question number 1, we have find that 24,000 and 18,000 is their thing income. So if 24,000 and 18,000 is their earnings, so if I go back, I hope the values are same. Yes. So 24,000 and 18,000, I guess these were the value. So 42,000 is the total earning of X and Y, right? So that is why doing PYQ is very important. The questions could either repeat directly or in other case the question could repeat but slight modification in the value could be they could have asked you, right? Now moving on, question number 6. This question is, the figure gives you the velocity graph of A ratio B. The straight line OKP represent the velocity of vehicle A. So I will just form OKP here. OKP looks like this: velocity and time. This we are going to learn more in the speed, distance, time in questions. But for now, just understand this is the graph OKP, right? What does it show? That at time 1 second or 1 hour, his speed was say 10 kilometers per hour. Time equal to 2 hour, his speed increased to 20 kilometers per hour. Time is equal to 3, his speed increased to this much, and so on, right? Velocity time graph shows like this. Another straight line CKD represent the velocity of B. When we see velocity of B, this is the line. velocity line, velocity means speed. So this means his speed was 60 kilometers at time equal 1 hour, 60 kilometers same because it's same, time 2 hours, 60 kilometer time 3 hours, and so on. I hope this is clear. Now, first thing is clear. Now you have understood how to read the graph. This part is clear, I hope. Now moving on. In the figure, D is the point. They're telling you that this is 90-degree line where PD is half of LD. This PD, this small part is half of LD. What is LD? This part is LD. Right? What is the ratio between distance covered and by vehicle A in time T interval OL? So they are asking you what is the distance covered by A and distance covered by B. You have to find the ratio. First thing first, always remember that velocity time graph is given to you. Velocity time graph is given to you. The area under the graph, area under graphs gives you distance covered by that person. Distance covered by the person. How? We'll see. This is the graph for person A. This looks like this, and this is something like this, right? O, L, P, and some D point is here. Something, right? Now, I have told you that area under this graph gives you distance covered by A. So, what is the distance of a right triangle? The area of a right triangle? Right triangle area is half base into height. What is base? So, half OL. What is height? In case of height is, this is LD, this is half of LD. So, this is LD, this is half of LD. So, this complete height is PL. PL is equal to LD plus half of LD, that is 1.5 of LD. 1.5 LD. I hope this is clear. Half of OL, that is base, and 1.5 LD. This part is clear. This is the distance covered by person number 1. Distance covered by person number 1. So, I will write here distance by person number 1, that is half OL into 1.5 of LD. Now, to calculate this for person 2, this is the graph. It forms a triangle, right? This is LD, this is OL. If you see, this is the rectangle they have given to you. This is the rectangle we are talking about, well, the velocity time. So, area under this graph is length into breadth. So, area of a rectangle is length into breadth. Length is what? OL. Breadth is what? Breadth means this part, that is LD. OL into LD. Right? So, this is what? So we have calculated this is the distance covered by person number 2. Right? So, if you solve this is half of 1.5 of LD. So, this is 0.75. You can solve this into OL into LD. I have just, what did I do? I did 1.5 into half. So, this is 0.75. Now the concept is clear that area gives a distance covered by that person. So, we have two distances by using this thing. So, distance by A and distance by B is 0.75 into OL into LD, and distance covered by V is OL into LD. This will get cancelled out. You will be left with 0.75 or 75 by 100 or 3 by 4. This is the final answer, 3 by 4. Again, difficult question. Along with ratio, you have to understand the concept of velocity, and velocity time graph given is to you. Then area under the graphs gives you what? Distance. So, I would say difficult question. Even if you have left this question in the exam, no worries. Don't worry. I have given you the solution. Now, in future, if such question is given to you in the exam and then you leave such a question, then the onus is upon you, because now you have understood the concept. In future, if such question comes in the exam, you should be able to solve such question, right? Now, moving on to the next question. A sum of this has to be distributed between x, y and z, and their ratio is given. X ratio y ratio z is half ratio 3 by 4 ratio 5 by 6. See, when ratio of more than, uh, don't worry, when the ratio is not only between two numbers, it could be between 3, 4, 5, even 100 and thousands, right? So x ratio y ratio z is this into this into this. Now this is very difficult to learn, understand what 1 by 2 ratio 3 by 5 ratio 5 by 6 is. There is one way to simplify it by using the property number 1, that multiplying each quantity means now this is numerator, numerator, numerator. Let's say x, y, z. I multiply this, compare it with the case number 1 of the property. Multiplying each by any quantity does not change the ratio. So what do I multiply this quantity, each of this, that the ratio will not change. So I have to multiply this and this by some quantity, that then the ratio will stays the same. So what that quantity will be, that will be the LCM of denominator, means 2 and 4 and 6. Why? Because then that why we will see. But in case of LCM, we will see the LCM of 2, 4, 6 is 12. Why did we choose 12? Because if I multiply it by 12, 12 and 12 in each case, you will be able to simply solve it. 2, 6 are 12, 4, 3 are 12, 6, 2 are 12. Right? If I have taken some other value, we could have multiplied it by 5, but that would not have solved our purpose. So now we have taken 12. You can take 24. That will also solve the case. You can take whatever you want. But I have chosen 12 because it will simplify my solution. So 6 into 1 is 6, 3 3 are 9, and 5 2 are 10. Three ratios are in form 6, 9 and 10. Right? Now this is just a simplification of the step number 1. Now the sum is to be distributed, right? Now again, I have already told you, multiplying each by any quantity does not alter the ratio. So how much money x has got? He has got 6a. How much money y has got? He has got 9a. How much money the third person has got? He has got 10a. So this is the money got by x, y and z. So total money got by them is 6 plus 9 plus 10, it is given to you that they have got 2500. So 6 plus 9 plus 10 is 25a is equal to 2500. A is what? 100. So A is 100. So x has got 6a, means 600. Y has got 9a, that is 900. And the final person Z has got 10a, that is 1000. What is the difference between maximum share and the minimum share? Means what is the difference between the maximum value and the minimum value, that is 400 rupees. I hope this is clear. Same, this part is the first part we have done for our convenience. Even if you don't want to do the first step, first 1 ratio 2, 3 by 4 and 5 by 6 is given to you. You can simply do this and then 1 by 2a plus 3 by 4a plus 5 by 6a is equal to 2500. Even this is another way you can solve this. However you want to solve, you can solve it. This is also an alternate method. You should be getting these values, and if you are getting x as 600, y as 900 and z as 1000, then your solution is correct. Right? Now moving on, this is the last question for in our previous year question compilation. A student appears in 6 papers. So there were 6 papers: paper number 1, paper number 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. This is the total. These are 6 papers, right? The maximum marks are same for each of the paper. Maximum marks, you understand? Suppose we say 100 marks exam. That means a maximum a person can score is 100 marks. Just I'm using this value as a simplification to make you understand. His marks in these papers are in proportion 5:6:7:10. So the person has scored marks in paper number 1, paper number 2, paper number 3, 4, 5, 6, and these are in this ratio. Overall, he has scored 60% of in the exam, right? So total marks he could score is in 6 paper is 600 marks. So the person scored is 60% of 600, 60% of 600, that is 360 marks. So the total marks scored by person is 360. I hope this is clear. Now, he has scored 5 ratio, 6 ratio, 7 ratio, 8 ratio, 9 ratio, 10. These are the marks scored by him in 10 papers. So let's say I have already told you multiplying any ratio by the same quantity does not alter it. So multiplying each by A, and A. So 5A is the marks scored by him in paper number 1. 6A is the paper number 2. 7A, 8A, 9A and 10A. Right? I hope this is clear. This is the marks scored by him in 6 papers. What is the total of this? 5A plus 6A plus 7A plus 8A plus 9A plus 10A. What is the total? 6 plus 5, 11, 7, 18, 18 plus 8, 26, 26 plus 9, that is 35, 36, 5 plus 10, that is 45. So, marks scored by him is 45A. So, 45A is 360. A is what? 360 by 45. 360 by 45. So, 360 by 45. So, if we solve this, this will be 4, 8. So, this should be 8, 8. Right? You can solve this. So, 45 8s are 360. This is, so A is 8. So, marks scored by him in paper number 1, 8 5 is 40, 8 6 is 48, 8 6 is 48, 8 7 is 56, 8 8 is 64, 8 9 is 72, 8 10 is 80. So, these are the marks scored by him in each of the paper, right? Now, in how many paper did he score less than 60% of the maximum marks? So, 60% of the maximum marks means 60. So, 60% of, so in how many papers he has scored less than 60? Less than 60 is this paper, this paper, this paper. So, in 3 of the exam papers, he has scored less than 60 marks. So, the answer is 3. I hope this is clear. This completes our PYQs for ratios. I would highly recommend, if you have only done previous year questions for ratio, have understood the concept, I bet you they cannot ask you anything else. Your concepts will be very clear in of what type of question they could ask you in the exam. And 90% or 95% I could say that they are only going to ask you questions in forms of these 8 questions. Nothing is going to come outside of these 8 questions. So focus on these 8 questions, focus on the concepts, and you are done with this topic, ratios. So that completes our video. We'll meet in the next video for the next topic. Till then, best of luck for your preparation, and you can download this PDF from the channel, Telegram channel, if you want to try this question on your own. Right? Thank you and best of luck.